Who have you got your eye on to win this? Who's taking it down for you, Kev?
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of faith in the red black deck, but Lee Buchan is a very good Magic player, so I think it's whether we put this in the hands of the players or the hands of the matchup. I think red black could take this with good sideboarding, but Lee Buchan is not to be underestimated.
Lee Buchan quickly on a multi-6. Probably, negate down the bottom. Seems like more situational, knowing the matchup.
Yeah, saw it coming, eliminating Valky. Valky's going to be very interesting. Obviously, if Valky hits a Croxer, that's a very big game.
Yeah. It's ground to the top there. And Lee decides to play his own Temple of Malice.
Yeah, I was thinking that Sharp Typhoon had to go to the bottom because he's just needing to hit lands. He's already got Sharp Typhoon. It's a good card, but I don't think he can hold on to it for too long.
No.
I think he just has to make sure he hits land drops. Okay, so this is the... Oh, that's a miss.
That is a miss. And what happens if Wull has Crocs on hand and Valky steals Croxa? Is that a 2-mana 6/6 coming down? Oh, wait.
He took Valky, takes Valky. It's not a miss.
No.
Do you know, I was going to say the thing about Valky as well is the thing I really like about the Valky in the Croxa deck as well is sometimes it's just information. So Will knows he has to play around and eliminate and I saw it coming now. So that can be quite big. That can be quite important to know those cards on your opponent's hand. Lee Buchan now deciding, does he just stop this now? Yeah, I think passing's correct here, right? Like you want to really catch the Wull Strider or something with that eliminate.
I think passing's fine. I'm interested in the second red source over.
Yeah, over the blue.
Was that a blight step? Was it red black land or? They're just snagging Valky on the stack.
Yep.
Not sure. I'm not sure if it's correct to do this now or wait till the end of combat. Maybe you just want to preserve life total. As you said, like they could bring down a Wull Strider, which could be problematic. But I think like if Wull Strider resolves, you want to deal with it then.
So he just took it. Okay, there's the Wull Strider. So he just took it out in Will's upkeep. That was interesting because surely if he was going to do it in the upkeep, he should have just done it in the done it on his turn to prevent Will from being able to village rights it or something.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is an interesting turn. It's like, does he hold up the removal spell? Does he foretell the saw it coming? I think you're right though. It was very interesting that he didn't just play the blue just to have a cancel in his hand. Because you don't always need to foretell saw it coming.
Exactly.
I think Lee's realised that now. And he's just going to throw this Valky into play. Try and snag like an Immerstrom Dragon or something.
The issue Lee has is that Wull has access. Wull has access to claim the firstborns. So
I guess so, yeah, you're right. So the Valky's not always that great because Will can just claim it, get his creature back whenever he wants to with this Wull Strider. It's interesting though because now Lee knows that Wull Strider's the only creature and the only sack outlet. So unless is that a village rights and no, it's a Heartless Act. Okay. Will's just stomping out that. That was a neat top deck from Will.
Yeah. That was nice.
The goat's coming in as well. The disrespect goat. This is the thing with the new pathways though, that like that Castle Lochwain came in tapped. So the castles are at the worst they've ever been right now, I think, just because you've got all 10 pathways and people are jamming like 8, 12 pathways in their deck. So I have been finding a reasonable amount of the time the castles are coming in tapped. This is a good setup now. Like Lee's not getting punished for having single blue because he can foretell, and now he's got Heartless Act and Saw It coming up.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about foretell mechanic is it doesn't, it's not like if you foretell it and then you say you play it again for like counterspell magic cost, like double blue, like the fact that it is blue generic mana makes it a lot easier on the mana base, especially in standard.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like Saw It Coming. It's a nice card, and Lena has, he's still at a respectable life total. He can decide whether or not he wants to, deal with a Wool Strider, or he can wait till end of turn, take 3 damage, and see what Wall has up his sleeve. And then he can, decide what he wants to do the following turn. So Will's shocked in Bone Crusher. I think that's a reasonable target.
I mean, that's fine. The Bone Crusher's got a 2-for-1 already, right? He's got the counter spell and he's killed the Valky. I think Will's probably happy with that.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll be close to enough cards as well. Oh, there's another Valky, but I guess it's only good if the last card's a creature. He might just be waiting for this Valky to become a Tibalt at this point.
Yeah, I would do so as well, and I think Lee might be interested in playing the Shark Typhoon at instant speed to block the Wool Strider at this point. He knows about the Claim the Firstborn, and you don't want your shark stolen and sacked. So while making this attack gives Lee the option to Shark Typhoon here, which I think is quite nice.
Looks like that's what he's going to do. And this means if Will does decide to get the Wool Strider back, it's not even, I was going to say the Heartless Axe turned on, but it's not, because the Heartless Axe can't kill the Wool Strider once it has counters.
Yeah.
So this Heartless Axe might be looking pretty awkward in this Croxa matchup.
Yeah, right now, there's chances it will become relevant again later on. Heartless Act taking down Shark Typhoon. I think Lee will take that no problem at this point. As we said, he knows, like Lee knows about the Claim the Firstborn. Yeah. So
I mean that says to me as well that Will's hand doesn't have much action in it, right? If he's like so if he feels like he needs to protect this Wool Strider, if he feels that this Wool Strider has to go the distance. He did top though, which means next turn's probably going to be a good one for him. But it's going to be a good turn for Lee as well.
Behold the multiverse. Big draw, yeah.
He's just putting it aside.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be Heartless Act and Behold the Multiverse. This might be the corner turning point unless Will has taught something really good here.
Yeah, because he's 1 mana off being able to cast Tibble. So, Heartless Act into Behold, like, I'd probably, if I was Lee, I'd maybe take the 3 damage here, then end of turn Heartless Act the Wool Strider, so that I don't have anything to worry about when Tibble comes down. Maybe that's me being too.
Well, I guess he's checking his options here, right? Like,
yeah.
That's everything he needs. There's the 7th land and then a Brazen Borrower for the next threat, just to make sure this Tibble stays in play for as long as possible.
Yeah, I would top both of them as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we were talking about, though. I think the Grixis deck does have the edge in Game 1, and I think it's very important the Grixis deck takes Game 1, because I think it's going to get very difficult for the Grixis deck going into the second game.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Kevin.
I think... Let me just double check. But hopefully we're going to be able to switch perspectives as well. So we'll get to see Game 2 from Will's perspective. There's obviously hiccups with this being the first time we've done this. So that might not be happening, but it was the original plan. So we'll see. Okay, it was a Timurit Calls the Dead.
Yep.
That
2/2.
That might be enough pressure to just... No, I guess not, because like we can kill the zombie, then Tibalt comes down and eats the Wool Strider.
Yeah, you can exile it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess I'll look at the top of his deck.
Which I guess that's the plan. I guess that's why Lee put off dealing with this Wool Strider for so long, because the long-term plan is just to exile it and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Lee's still at Lee's lower on the lower end of safe with his life total just now. I don't think he can afford to take too many more hits. Here comes down. Here they come. 7 mana Fair Tibble as opposed to the 3 mana Cascade Tibble we've seen in the format. Let's see.
Okay, there we go.
What happened there? Minus, yeah, as expected. Exiles. Still, Tibble is on 4 loyalty, I believe.
Okay. That's big game, because that means that we've got a Wool Strider in the graveyard.
Yeah. Huge from Will.
Okay, this is we've got a game now. This was I think if that Wool Strider had been exiled, would be looking at a snowball from this point from the Grixis player. We still have 2 Brazen Borrowers to get through, so that's going to deal with these tokens and this Woe Strider that's coming back. But Grixis isn't out of the woods yet. A Valky, okay, so that's 1 less Brazen Borrower to deal with, but I guess like it just forces the Brazen Borrower to bounce Will's Valky. Very unfortunate Will didn't have a 7th land there, or he could have played his own Tybalt.
Yeah, that would have been huge. But he still has the play of being able to...
Now, what Will missed there was he could have claimed the Firstborn on his own zombie to kill the Tybalt.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been enough to break the back of this game. If that Tybalt's gone and all his opponent has is a Brazen Borrower in hand. So the game goes on because Will didn't see that line.
Oh,
but
top that, yeah.
Again, in the
uptick.
In the heat of the moment, it can be tough. Oh, and a claim. That isn't going to be good now, but could definitely turn the tide at the right point. But it'll be interesting to see how Will tries to cobble together. Okay, with two Brazen Borrowers.
Yeah.
This could be a tough one.
Yeah, and the claim on Will's side's not enough anymore to take down the...
Yeah, a claim on the zombie would have been sick there.
Yeah, it would have been huge. It's unfortunate that Will's missed that line. This is going to be pretty difficult to come back now, given the fact that...
Yeah, the 2 Brazen Borrowers are just going to mitigate the attack here. Unless he sees it this turn. But again, I think it might be too little too late. You know what I mean? Like if he gets back his Woe Strider and tries to give it haste.
Yeah, but the issue is now that Lee can respond with a Brazen Borrower on whatever Will decides to give haste.
Yeah, he's not going to have enough power to push through to get rid of the Tybalt this turn. Unfortunate.
Tybalt is such a beating.
What is it Tybalt can exile? Is it creatures and artifacts, or is it creatures and planeswalkers?
I'm pretty sure it's all.
It's not all. It's creature or something.
Oh, he definitely can't. Artifact, I'm sure it is.
He can't deal with enchantments. I know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's artifact or creature. Yeah, artifact or creature.
Okay, so Tybalt can't. So a Tybalt from Will's side can't exile the Tybalt that's currently causing all the trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a tapped land, so that's not going to happen. So I mean, I expect to just see Woe Strider brought back here.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anything different happened there. Like I think Woe Strider is probably the optimum play. Will might try and give it haste with Claim the Firstborn. Although he technically has enough power on board to deal with this Tybalt just now.
Well, he knows about the 2 Brazen Borrowers, though, so he is probably pretty confident that neither is going to connect.
Yeah. We're just going for face. Just decided, you know what? You're going to have to deal with these anyway. Might give you another decision to make.
Yeah.
I would... Bouncing this. Okay. Maybe electing...
We do have a Tybalt on 4 as well, so... okay, so Lee's just choosing to clean up, assuming that this Tybalt will just get to -3 on...
Yeah, the one spell that Will can play. Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. Putting it away here. Like I'm saying, it could have been a lot closer if Will had seen the line, but we're in this world now.
So is this game panning out how you would have expected it to, Kev, game 1?
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, like I'm saying, there was outs for the red-black deck to win, but yeah, I think this is what had to happen, that the Grixis deck had to just capitalise on red-black just having suboptimal cards, like Claim the Firstborn and things.
Yeah.
And that this definitely looks like a corner-turning moment here.
Oh, wow, wow, huge.
I wonder. So Will, the fact Will played nothing. I don't know what the plan is here. Just gonna try and draw a card. I guess he's just afraid of this Tybalt, and like didn't want to just dump something into play for it to just get exiled.
Village Rice is a big one. Like it gives Lee his own way to, ignore playing the firstborn. So Will can start, Lee can start switching the gears and playing the Brazen Borrowers, knowing fine well that if Will tries to take care of them, he can, he doesn't have to worry about a 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, as open information, Will can see that Village Rights, but
it's difficult because Lee
with
also
this dragon
claim the firstborn. So Will plays a creature that's less than
Crocs is interesting because this could be game if Will sees the haste line, because he's got no cards to discard.
Yeah, so Lee might actually have to sack his play Brazen Borrower, sack it to Village Rights, hopes. Yeah, Will might have just stolen this one.
See, his opponent's also dead to a Bone Crusher Giant, even if he doesn't see the line.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is the power of the red black deck. Like, I think it does have so many ways it can, so many axes to attack on, which I think makes it really hard to play into.
That was a huge draw.
This looks like Croxa's coming back as well.
Wow.
Like, he's shuffling through the bin. This is
Wull the Power Swales, man. Stolen this game back.
Okay, here it comes. Is it coming in again? Is this just going to be the straight 9-ball from the Croxa? Discard, discard, discard.
Jeez, I think Lee has to.
Maybe this is what.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what Will was waiting on. Maybe he wasn't so worried about the Tybalt because he knew that this sort of line existed of like he can just get the Croxa.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not seen the haste line, but it's coming back next turn, and he's just trying to protect it from Tybalt.
Oh, Will's had two times where he could have made a massive impact on this game.
Yeah, he could have turned the he could have turned the claim into a relevant card.
Yeah, and that's game. That's game.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately, Will missed the line, and he's going to send his opponent a good game.
And do you know? I think that's the thing. I think if the red black deck can steal the first game, it's in a super good position because, like I'm saying, the sideboard is so good. So let's see how Lee decides to sideboard here. So yeah, as expected, the extinction events are in. Shadow's verdicts are in. I missed that on initially going over his deck, but obviously that's really good at clearing out those Croxas. Yeah, I think we're maybe switching perspective as well.
Nice.
So that'll be good. But yeah, like that was kind of how I expected it to go. That like the Grixis deck could just turn a corner and take over the game. It was just unfortunate that Will missed the lines to break through that corner turning moment. Okay, so he's trimming on Shark Typhoons. And I think we're switching perspective here. Nice. So Will is shaving on a Croxa. Okay, Bone Crusher Giants are coming out. The Valkyries are out.
Valkyries are out.
Valkyries
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's not a lot of hits for it, and I think Will just wants to end the game before it gets to 7 mana. Yep, Skyclave Shades, like we're expecting. The Juresis are in. Lilianas are in. Liliana could be a big game here as well. This is what I mean. I think the sideboard is very, very tooled to fight this Grixis deck.
I think so. I think Duress is a lot better for like cards like Duress are interesting.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, there's the debate between duress and agonizing remorse in this matchup, but I think for this red-black deck, just being able to double spell is really important. Like, being able to duress on the same turn that you play your Woe Strider, or being able to duress and then claim. Like, you like just having the 1 mana version, I think is really important for this pseudo combo deck.
No, I agree. I agree with you there, Kev.
So yeah, we are doing a change of perspective. So Will is still looking. Will's still looking for a cut. Okay, and he's just doing the trimming a land classic. Okay, so Busted Magic a game up. We're going to see game 2 from Will Power's perspective.
Fantastic.
So yeah, Martin, there's also if you grab the YouTube link that was in the chat, you can watch. Because I think you're watching through the stream, so you'll have like a 4 or 5 second delay from what I'm seeing.
Yep.
If you open up the YouTube tab, you'll get it at the same time. Because if you're watching it on the stream, you'll get the delay.
Okay. Like, is that on the?
Yeah, it's just in the chat between you, me, Ross, and the Esports guys.
Sweet. Yeah, I was wondering that.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing as you, and then I realised that was probably not the best way.
No, yeah, I've got it here.
If we've got a lag on the stream.
Yeah,
okay. So the throne is in first. This card's really interesting. I thought it was going to be better than it was, but it's still good. Shredded Sails milled off the top. Now, Shredded Sails is a super cool card choice. Shredded Sails is like a main board answer to Embercleave. It's a main board answer to the Great Henge, and it also snags this dragon that everyone seems to be playing. I really like Shredded Sails.
It's definitely more relevant now than it's ever been.
Yeah, now that people are playing like 4/4 dragons in like 40-50% of the decks.
Yeah, and having an answer to Great Henge is nothing to sniff at.
Yeah, I mean, I always saw Fringe play like as a sideboard card, but I think now, like, because it answers so many relevant threats and always just has the option to be cycled, that like it's just in a great spot.
Yeah, agree with you there. So Lee just selecting to pass. No black mana.
It does have a Foretold card, so this could be a Behold the Multiverse if Will doesn't do anything of relevance, which would make sense if he's Foretold Behold the Multiverse and is now just holding up like they saw it coming just as a cancel. Could be interesting.
Yeah, he's still a healthy life total, taking 3 here. Going to 17. Will has options to either does he want to just slam the 4 mana demon to force Lee to not be able to, he sees that Lee isn't playing black mana that early on. Maybe thinks, does he have black mana? Is he looking for it?
Okay, he's shocking in. Which, I mean, I guess we could mean anything. So he's going for the Croxa hold up Heartless Act. Croxa, I think, is maybe the better line because it plays around counter magic pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard like play 2 spells into your opponent's when your opponent only has access to 1 spell. However, like one of the spells is reactive, so to me, it's maybe not as effective. It'd be different if Lee was in 4 mana going on to 5.
Holding this up for the dragon.
I personally would have maybe slammed the demon to force Lee to counter it instead of.
It's not a demon; it's another dragon.
Is it a dragon?
It's a dragon.
Wow.
It might be a demon dragon, but it's a dragon. It's the Immerstrom Immerstrom Predator. It's a dragon.
It's a dragon. Sick.
Is it just a dragon? No.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Okay. So Lee just opting to make a 1/1 shark.
Okay. Yep. Draw a card.
So I mean that would make me think that the card that has been foretold is not a Behold the Multiverse.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's it looks like it's a saw it coming.
because if it had been, he'd have just cast Build the Multiverse, right, and then held the shark for next turn so it could block the Wool Strider.
Yeah, so turns out Will did see it coming.
this Croxa is coming back pretty fast though with the throne.
Yeah, the throne of death's a nice inclusion. I wasn't expecting to see that, to be honest. But yeah, it makes sense.
A little bit of lag on the stream. I can still hear the audio, but we're still going. But it looks like the feed is frozen. Okay, we do have the attack from Will. Okay, and then just throwing another Wool Strider in.
Yep.
And
6 power on the board. Field Rune incoming for the Castle Lotwin. Seems to have frozen up.
Yeah. I think that's probably just the Discord screen capture because the audio is still coming through. So that's brutal.
Huge Shadow's Verdict, and we spoke about this for this match, Kev. I said this card is so backbreaking if played at the right time, and
I think Will just has to like deep scry here for like this land and hope the dragon's good enough.
Yeah. Well, this is huge. And you know what the issue is? Like, Lee's going to have access to removal spell plus saw it coming. So if Lee has the removal spell, it's brutal. I would probably keep that on top, yeah. Just hope to slam dragon.
So I've been told that the issue is on the Discord end.
Okay.
So there is a land on the top. The dragon's coming. Oh no, but the land gets melted from the throne.
The non-bow.
Another Croxa is reasonable. So yeah, I've been told it is on the Discord end, and if this goes to a game 3, we'll be switching back to Lee's perspective for game 3 to correct this. It does just seem to be internet problems on Will's end.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So Lee's just electing to pass. He's probably seen that.
Well, yeah, okay. So I mean, this is good. This tap land actually lets Will disguise the fact he's got this dragon and force Lee to answer this Croxa. This will be Croxa coming back right now. Okay, a Crone War to the bottom. So Will has no fear of the dragon from the opponent. So the Croxa probably isn't going to resolve, I would imagine.
No, I'd imagine he gets countered by this saw it coming.
Which again is fine, because like if Croxa is going to get a card out of your opponent's hand, it might as well be a good card like a counterspell.
Well, does Will have enough cards to escape? Because it seems like he's elected to. Oh, okay.
Afternoon, Morton, how are we doing? Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. So there is enough cards.
7. So interesting.
Maybe he just thinks Croxa is his route to victory, and he's going to have to try and bait the counterspells out with other things.
Yeah, that could be the case, Kevin.
Because if he can bait a counterspell, and then just go back to back Croxas, like Croxa in 2 turns time, Croxa in the turn after that. Like, he's opting to Croxa now. So maybe he was just afraid of his opponent's dragon, and he just decided to hold up the removal spell and wait till he had a creature plus removal spell on the same turn.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I probably wouldn't expect.
Saw it coming, which is fine.
We all saw that coming.
I think because the Croxa is just loaded up for next turn as well.
I think the issue for like Wall is I don't think Lee is going to tap out for the dragon.
Will has his own Tibble. So
that's nice.
Is he going to hold it to be a Tibble, or is he going to use it to scout for counterspells? And he's scouting for counterspells or dragon.
I think you have to do this. It allows you to double spell and see potentially any scary stuff from Lee's side, like the dragon. Bear in mind, crucially, Lee doesn't have access to double red at the moment, so he.
So the dragon could just be rotting there, yeah. This Valkyrie could easily grab a dragon.
Yeah, and I think.
Okay,
oh wow!
He's letting him take the Bone Crusher. I mean, I would have thought that the Bone Crusher in response there, right?
Yeah.
Or how does it work? Like, see if you kill Valkyrie with the trigger on the stack, does the creature go forever, or?
That's an interesting one. I'm not too sure. It might do. Someone in chat wants to answer our queries. That'd be great. So elected to eliminate the Valkyrie.
And Will was going to say take 2 for the privilege.
Yeah, nice.
And in fact, I don't know if that works because the giant wasn't targeted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it's the Valkyrie that's targeted, so you don't take 2, unfortunately. Unlucky, Will. Maybe next time.
So he is going to be looking for a way to. Okay, the Brazen Borrower just comes down and is trying to end this game. It does give Will a target for this Heartless Act, though. If you kill on the stack, it just acts a duress. Okay, sure, it's just a duress. So.
Oh, the smashing's actually kind of relevant. Like if
he's also got the Croxa again this turn. So this could just be Croxa, force the Heartless Act out of your hand, hold up kill spell. I mean this is what I was saying. Now that the red-black deck has gotten rid of their bad cards, it is firing on all cylinders.
Slowly turning the corner here. And I mean, you can't let Croxa stay around. You have to answer it.
Oh, he's going to lose his giant here, right? He has to bin the giant to keep the Heartless Act.
Yeah.
So, and then it's coming back in a few turns. There's a dragon coming now. Heartless Act's going to kill this Brazen Borrower. So Lee is playing off the top at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Will's choosing to hold his Shatter Skull Smashing as well.
If I was I mean, I'm not sure what I would do here if I would elect to wait a turn and cast Shatter Skull Smashing for 3 mana. It's quite efficient, but then you can't really do anything else. Like, Will could play like the Goldspan Dragon next turn and then Shatter Skull Smashing the Brazen Borrower, which I don't think would be the worst play because I see Heartless Act has been premium removal.
Oh yeah, of course he can, because he's going to just Heartless Act it to try and bait this counter spell, I think, to try and resolve a dragon. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah,
well, I think this makes sense. Just like now it's up to Lee whether he wants to protect the borrower. It sounds like it's dying. Again, we'll fix the lag. Sorry about the lag. It's just again on Will's end, so we'll switch back to Lee's perspective for game 3.
If it goes to game 3.
Yeah, if it goes to game 3.
Oh, right, okay,
so that's the counter spell baited.
5 head plays by Wull Swales. Absolute 5 head plays. Because now Will can Goldspan Dragon and Shatter Skull Smashing for 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolute 5 head plays from Will the Power Swales. Expect nothing less.
Yeah, because this dragon's going to come down, give him the treasure he needs to Shatter Skull Smashing away the fairy. Yeah. Or he can opt to just put more pressure on the board and play both dragons this turn.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, that might just be better, right? Like, I think Lee's deck doesn't have a massive amount of reach.
It also playing both dragons plays around Extinction Event pretty well because they're even and odd.
Mm-hmm. And I believe if Lee chooses odds, he can sack the dragon to make his 4-mana dragon bigger.
Yep. Well, yeah. Yep. Because it becomes tapped. It's got like the Wicked Wolf text of like when it becomes indestructible, it gets tapped.
Yeah, and I don't know how many cards Will has in the graveyard.
Okay, he's just choosing to kill the Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Because he's got Croxa now lined up. If this dragon dies, he can Croxa again next turn.
Yeah, I was actually thinking with the dragon, he could maybe have played the dragon.
I think he's just worried about like losing tempo, and I think if he gets rid of the Brazen Borrower now, like for example, if Will just put another dragon into play, and then Lee draws a Brazen Borrower, bounces the 3/3 dragon, gets in for another 3, Will might lose that race.
That's a real issue.
This is definitely the safer play. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Lee drew. So I think it was lucky Will went for that line. Interesting that Lee bounces it after it attacked, because now Will is going to be very wealthy.
Yeah, it's going to have all the treasures.
That probably should have happened in beginning of combat.
Yeah, I think it's kind of getting used to new cards. Some people like.
Yeah, no, for sure. It looks like we're going to get Croxa and a dragon here.
Yeah, this might be too much for Lee to handle at this point in time.
I wonder if Will has Extinction Event in his head though, because like if he doesn't have Extinction Event in his head, he could potentially just end up playing Croxa and the 4/4 and the 4-mana dragon, thinking, well, my 5-mana dragon's going to come down with haste next turn, so I don't need to play it now. And maybe lose both. He won't lose both his creatures though, because the Immerstrom dragon can sacrifice the Croxa.
Exactly.
So it might not be as bad as it looks on paper.
I think this spot is really difficult for Lee to come back from. He's just taking he's going to take so much damage from this Croxa that he needs to answer.
Okay, Will's just choosing. Okay, he might be thinking what we were talking about the Extinction Event here.
Yeah, I mean,
I like both. I think both plays have their merits. Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd have probably went for the 4-mana dragon to haste in the Goldspan, but is this eliminate? Hanging on by a thread.
Okay, it's just going to come back in a couple of times. Oh, the top. That could be enough.
I would have attacked with the Goldspan first, I think.
Yeah, I think he also wants to have the Immerstrom in play so he can sacrifice the Croxa just for the value. But I mean, like the block is forced here anyway. I can't imagine Lee not blocking.
I think Lee would be forced, but it gives it. You make your opponent choose, right? You give your opponent the decision. You give your opponent as many decisions to make as possible. That's how you normally win games of Magic. Is
someone makes a mistake.
Yeah, giving your opponents the most opportunities to mess up, and
this is definitely a matchup where people can mess up. Like we saw with Will in game 1, like he had opportunities to win and made the mistakes. So yeah, I think definitely giving people the opportunity to make mistakes. Thank you very much if you're tuning in. I can see our viewership is grown again.
Brilliant. Like
you'll see on the stream down the bottom. Not anymore because we're in sideboarding now. We're switching perspective back to Lee going into game 3. But yeah, this is Esports Scotland in association with West End Games to bring the first Magic the Gathering Community Cup, Magic the Gathering Arena Community Cup. So yeah, I'm just really glad that people are showing up to watch this, and we capped out on the players to play it, even though, like I'm saying, it's not a big cash event. This is fairly casual, but we did have a lot of like good names showing up to play. Duncan Tang came out, Gary Campbell came out, Danny Anderson, I believe, is here.
Danny Anderson's a big name. What?
Danny Anderson, he's been to like at least 3 Pro Tours, right?
I know. How you doing? If Danny, if you're listening, hope you're doing well, mate. No, I'm buzzing. I'm so happy with the turnout today. Like I was really excited. Kevin messaged me about this, and Duncan Tang came out of retirement. Never thought I'd see the day. I was like, Duncan's like, I don't know if I want to play, and I'm like, come on. And he's like, I'm like, Duncan's like got a million rare wild cards, and I was like, he had like 140 rare wild cards. I was like, Duncan, just build a deck, mate, and just play. Do it for Gary,
Hopefully we can get a Duncan Tang feature match.
Oh no, it's happening. Duncan is getting on feature match. We need it to happen. We need a Gary Campbell feature match. We need a Danny Anderson feature match.
Hopefully someone on broadcast is listening.
Yeah. Duncan Tang, Gary Campbell, Danny Anderson.
Well, they need to be winning, right? Do you want to watch Duncan Tang slum it in the 0-1 bracket?
Yeah. Yeah, and if Duncan loses the 0-1 bracket, it'll be funny.
Right, this hand pretty much has everything that he could want, right?
Yeah, I would top this.
Yep, seems good.
Bottom
Just
it. What?
Okay.
He doesn't.
Oh, I was going to say he doesn't have double red, but I guess he does.
Riverglade. He has Riverglade. He does. Yeah, he has. I would just keep that on top. I'd probably prefer that over like the 6th land, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And given that he's got 4 lands already, well, I mean that's also a nice draw.
Yeah, I suppose that's what he was after, right? He just wants advantage because like the last game he lost because he ran out of resources. And Goldspan is just a way to potentially run out of resources, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So again, I've not played many control decks in this format, so maybe just drawing cards and like just try to stay ahead. Especially now that he's going to have the cancel plus Behold the Multiverse up. Like this is a really safe position, and Bone Crusher Giants. Like,
yeah, and I liked his decision to foretell the Behold the Multiverse over the Saw It Coming.
Well, I think like it's what we talked about last game when we saw it from Will's perspective, and we couldn't tell. We had a debate about what it would be because of. Now see, maybe this is what Lee was thinking. He was like, if he plays Croxa, I might have to pitch a land, and I'm just going to end up further away from this dragon.
I wouldn't pitch a land. When against discard decks, you should always.
Okay, Disdainful Stroke has been brought in. I can't really think what he would want to Disdainful Stroke apart from Will's Dragons, to be fair. And there's not. I don't know how many dragons Lee assumes Will is playing, but it's not many. This Disdainful Stroke might only have like 5 or 6 targets after board.
I would have bottomed the Disdainful Stroke. Like the most important thing against discard strategies is hitting your land drops. Because you need to people. There's always the debate of, should I discard lands or spells? Obviously, context is everything, but as a general rule of thumb, you should discard your lands last. Having more lands allows you to cast more of your spells, and if you discard lands to discard, then you're not developing in any sort of meaningful way, and then you're stuck in this position of, being less likely to play top decks off the top. And if you have access to like Goldspan Dragon and stuff like that, I would be discarding lands last. Well, I don't really see the need to do this. I would have discarded the Disdainful Stroke. You're trading a card for a card anyway, so this doesn't really make sense to me. But people have reasons. That's fine.
So sorry, what was that? I missed that play. I was talking to.
So basically, Will played a Croxa, right? So you discard a card from your hands.
Oh, and he countered it instead?
Yeah, he countered it, which to me, you're basically tapping mana that you don't need to tap.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would have elected to discard the Disdainful Stroke since it's very situational. And I would rather trade a Disdainful Stroke for a Croxa than I saw it coming for a Croxa, to be honest.
Yeah, again, it might just be Lee is worrying about like running out of resources. But I guess See It Coming is one of your most important resources. So
yeah, it's a counter. It's just hard counterspell, right, over a situational counterspell. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure of the reasoning, but sometimes
Skyclave Shade is big game here.
Yeah, Skyclave Shade is a nice one.
Now Will was holding up 2 mana, so like maybe Lee doesn't want to jam this dragon here. Potentially getting it Heartless acted. I'd expect to maybe just see Bone Crusher, the creature, come into play with eliminate counterspell backup.
Yeah, because both decks here have access to the Goldspan top end, and tapping out on your side for your Goldspan to get Heartless acted.
Do you think Lee has maybe thought that Disdainful Stroke counters the Croxa on the flashback?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the logic there, but regardless, it's just you should always discard the Disdainful Stroke over.
Okay. Here comes the dragon. Is there a Heartless act?
Wow, this is huge.
I would imagine not, or it would have probably died. And
imagine if Lee had the counterspell backup as opposed to Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah. If Lee had a Saw It Coming here, I'd imagine this game would just be over. Yeah, without the throne in play, these Croxas aren't as scary as they were in game 2. Like in game 2, Will was able to Croxa every other turn thanks to the throne.
Exactly.
So I'm interested to see how he's going to deal with this dragon. Maybe he's not.
Maybe he doesn't have the answer. I mean, that was quite telling. I think it was quite telling when Wull didn't deal with it on the stack.
Well, he could have a Blood Chief's Thirst, which is sorcery speed.
Yeah, but then huge. You're basically taking a whole turn off. And look at this.
Oh.
Well,
Disdainful Stroke looks pretty good now.
Yeah, but so did Saw It Coming. Would have done the same job.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, huge draw as well. This game is getting away from Wull Swales. As powerful a mage Wull Swales is, I'm not sure he's powerful enough to come back from this swinging tempo. I would have slammed that Bone Crusher Giant. I would slam that right now if I was Lee.
He might be wary of the Claim the Firstborns. Like, we know Will's taking them out, but
yeah, but he's at 20 life. Like, it's such a huge, and Will still takes 2 damage from it. Maybe behold the multiverse for a counter. Yeah, I just slam it down because like Will's gonna have to deal with the dragon. You still have a 4-power creature in play. Can still push through, and if Will doesn't have the answers, then it's.
I mean, we had to assume Will couldn't deal with the dragon, or he would have tried, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like, Will would have to find an answer off the top, which might stop him from being able to do anything else relevant. So he's found Shredded
Sails.
Shredded Sails. Such a difficult card to pronounce.
I mean, we're out of counter spells, so if Will can find a way to deal with the dragon, he's just fighting through. Oh, the Shadow's Verdict. The Shadow's Verdict is going to exile the Bone Crusher that's in play, though.
I would bottom both, yeah. I think bottoming both's fine. Oh, big draws. Big draws.
Oofed.
I wouldn't cycle that shark for 1. If that's what Lee's thinking about. Wow, huge. That was a...
Croxas are live now. Well, they were already live, but now they're very live.
Yeah, but he's taking 8 damage, and if Will taps out for the Croxa, then if Lee elects to deal with this zombie just now, and then slam Goldspan it again,
that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep, and Will's taking 8 damage here, so even if Will brings back the Croxa, that's not enough on its own. Like, he needs to have an answer to this Goldspan dragon, or it's lights out.
This dragon, like,
how impressed have you been with it?
Yeah, it's just like the fact it goes in every deck, right? Like, this is a control deck playing the dragon. We're seeing a red-black mid-range combo deck playing the dragon. Mono-red aggro is playing the dragon. I think this is pretty done and dusted, because even if Will can answer the dragon, there's a shark in his future as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
he's going to need. Yeah, there's too much threat now, because like there's a removal spell if he only presents 1 blocker, if he presents 2 blockers, and can somehow deal with the dragon. There's a shark in his future as well. This is just overwhelming.
Yeah, I think if Will brings back the Croxa, I'd be tempted to cycle the shark for 2 to see what other card is available. Oh, and so now he can cycle it for 4. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's just letting this happen.
This is just... this is just so huge.
He's doing it now. Now is weird. Yeah. Now opens up to a Blood Chief's Thirst, right?
No, because it's lethal damage. He's got 2 lethal on the stack. He has 2 4/4s. If he kills the dragon, then the treasure only sacks for 1 mana. The dragon.
Of course, you're right. You had to do it now to make sure it's a 4/4.
Yeah,
it can get claimed or not pushed, but Blood Chief's Thirsties.
Yeah, but Lee also has the answer for the 2/2 zombie and Heartless Act. So there's 2 lethal threats on board.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is GG. This is it.
That's it.
Grixis
going to get him.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because if he could have held off another turn, there's some life to be gained. But This is it. Well played, Lee, for
Lee.
navigating game 1 and 3. They weren't easy wins either.
No. Yeah, that was Goldspan Dragon. Huge game.
Yeah, the double Goldspan Dragon, I think is too much for most decks, to be honest. I can't see many decks being able to answer one Goldspan and then deal with a second one the turn after.
Exactly.
I think that's like a feature of this format though as well, that people have a lot more threats than answers. So I think we're going to see the Dragon doing that a lot today. Like people having an answer for the first one, but not generally having a good one for the second.
I'm a big fan of dragons with counterspell backups. We'll definitely be doing that a lot this coming standard.
Yeah, so I wonder like if the Grixis shell might just be the way to go. I wonder if like the Izzet deck isn't the best build. Like,
who knows? Like
having access to Valky and like Heartless Axe seem like what that blue red deck's missing, right? Like,
yeah, but it comes at a cost of stretching the mana base further. Like, there's a lot of it's not all straight upside, as we know. Like, you get greedier, you can suffer from more aggressive linear strategies. Although, your removal is a little bit more efficient in terms of like.
Okay, I have just been told that we are getting a Duncan Tang feature match in round 2.
Amazing.